The ability to make user waypoints in the Garmin GTN 650 can be handy for several reasons. Maybe there's a strip out in the bush that you want to mark, or you want to mark your house so you can fly over it occasionally. Whatever it is, there are several ways that you can import waypoints into this GPS. So let's dive into all 3 ways that you can add user waypoints into the Garmin GTN 650. So the first way we can enter a user waypoint is by manually entering it. So if we come down, we can go to the waypoint information screen and then hit create waypoint. And this pulls up the create user waypoint screen. The first field is your user identifier. And this is going to be what you want to type in whenever it comes time to navigate to that waypoint. And you're allowed up to 6 characters. The comment field is going to be 24 characters. That's just a general description that pops up when you're searching for the waypoint. However, it defaults to the current location that you have set, either in latitude and longitude or a VOR radial. If this waypoint is an airport, then you can select airport and designate an elevation. And then if it's a temporary waypoint, then you can select that here. This is strictly just a designation field, so when it comes time to mass delete waypoints, you can choose to delete all or only delete the temporary ones. So if you would use, say, waypoints as a way of commercial flying for some reason, and then you want to get rid of them, that's when the temporary button would be particularly handy. You can add the position of a waypoint in one of 3 different ways. You can do the intersection of 2 radials, so you can select each VOR in each radial. You could do the distance off of 1 radial, so you can see you have the VOR, the exact radial, and the distance on that 1 radial. Or you can select latitude and longitude. Now there are 3 different formats for latitude and longitude, so you want to make sure that you have the right one selected. You can either do decimal degrees, so you just have degrees with 6 digits after the decimal. You can have degrees, minutes, and a decimal of minutes, or you can have degrees, minutes, and seconds. So depending on whichever format of latitude and longitude you have for entry, you can select that appropriate measure there. Lastly, once you've entered this waypoint, you can hit the preview button to preview where it is. Just note that when you create a waypoint this way, it's going to default to your current location. When it comes time to create the waypoint, you can just hit create. As you can see from the waypoint info screen to user waypoints, this is where you can look at whatever user waypoints you have stashed. So if you have more than one, you can view the list. You're allowed to have up to 1,000, so you can view how many waypoints you've used. If you want to edit a particular waypoint, you can just hit edit and it pulls this screen right back up. You can delete the waypoint from here, and then you can preview it in the same way that we saw on the waypoint entry screen before. The second way that you can make a user waypoint is from the panning screen. So if you know exactly where you want the waypoint to be on your GPS screen, you can click and drag around until you find the area that you want. So say my house was right here. We can come here and hit create waypoint. So we'll make the user identifier home. It's not an airport and it's not going to be temporary, so we'll leave both of those guys unchecked. We can change the comment to like my house or something like that. And then we can leave the default position wherever it is. If we want to specify format, we can. It doesn't matter which one we change to. It's all going to be in the exact same location. And then we can hit create. Now you can see we have this home waypoint on the map. And if we want to navigate to that, we can hit direct to, select waypoint, type home, and you can see it pop up here. If we hit activate, now we have a magenta line from our current position going to our house if we ever want to fly over our house. Another way to enter a waypoint that I like to use is by using Apple Maps. So we can go ahead and switch over there. And say I want to add Cherokee Air Park, which is this little grass strip down here on the south side of town. I can drop a waypoint, drop a pin, and you can see that we have our coordinates here. So we just need to take a moment, once you drop your pin, write down the coordinates. So now that we have written down our latitude and longitude from Apple Maps, we can come down here to waypoint info, create waypoint, and we can make our name Cherokee. And then for our comment, I'll just make this say Cherokee Air Park. From here, the waypoint is an airport, so I want to select that, and I want it to be permanent, so I will not check the temporary box. Now we need to move on to position. We will leave it on latitude and longitude. However, we need to change the format because if you remember, Apple Maps uses decimal degrees. So once we change it, we can go ahead and enter in our latitude and longitude here. So once we have our position entered, we can preview it, and we can see that, yeah, Cherokee Air Park is on the south side of Bolivar, so that looks pretty close. It defaults to the GPS elevation for that field. However, if that's incorrect and you know it's incorrect, you can modify it, and then we'll hit create, and we can see that waypoint exists. Now, if we want to navigate to Cherokee Air Park, I can go direct, select waypoint, Cherokee, activate, and now we're flying to Cherokee Air Park. It's that simple. The last way to get user waypoints into the GTN 650 is going to be by a mass import into an Excel spreadsheet. Now, from the pilot's guide, you can find information about formatting the spreadsheet, but it is very particular, so you need to pay close attention. You will create a spreadsheet, and column A will be the user identifier with a maximum of 6 characters. Column B will be the comment with a maximum of 24 characters. Column C will be the latitude, and column D will be the longitude. Now, there are a couple of things to note about latitude and longitude. You can only do 2 digits to the left of the decimal and 6 digits to the right of the decimal. Negative numbers indicate southern latitudes or western longitudes, and positive numbers indicate northern latitudes or eastern longitudes. Once you have your data entered, you need to save that spreadsheet as a comma separated values file or CSV and name it user.csv. Save that file to, say, your desktop, for example, and rename it to user.wpt. So you can then save that file on a freshly formatted SD card and then enter it into the GTN 650 and turn your avionics master on. Now that we are back at our GTN 650, we can come to waypoint info. We can hit import waypoints, and you will see that it will import the waypoints in the background. We can hit OK, and then when the import is complete, you'll get a message saying that the waypoints have been imported successfully, or if you didn't have your Excel sheet formatted or there was an error, you will get an error message as well. Now that we got this OK, we can go ahead and look at our user waypoint list. And we can see that Duck 01, 02, and Fish 01 through 04 have imported beautifully. If we want to view any of them, we can come here, preview them, and you can see that Fish 02 is just to the west of Kansas City. So this is a good way to where if you're changing aircraft and you have a bunch of saved user waypoints on your aircraft, or if you want to add a bunch of them without sitting there with your avionics master on, pushing in the panel in the cockpit, this is a great way of doing that. It's super quick. And like I said, you can do up to 1,000. So it can be super quick and efficient if you want it to. User waypoints is just one of the many awesome features that are found in the GTN 650. I hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment below and I'll get back to you. I thank you for watching this video till the end. You guys fly safe and we'll see you in the next one.